right, and we are live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Neighborish live cast. I'm Super Dave, aka Mr. Incredible, and with me, as always, are some of my favorite people in the world. Starting with our feminine energy, the personification of Black girl magic with the velvety smooth voice, the one and only Miss Aisha Green. How are you this evening?
If you say anything to me, David, I can't hear you.
Oh, you're frozen too.
That's, hey, but the voice came through like a motherfucker.
Right. I gave you your intro, Ish. Can you you frozen? You want to go out and come back in?
Let me restart.
She's doing fine. She's doing fine.
Yeah, we're gonna but yeah. So while she's getting her thing together, let me introduce the one and only blunt blowing my man 100 grand. I'll be trying to think of good stuff to say about him. He don't like when I say the life of the
just
party.
Mike. Just Mike.
Just say just Mike. That's all you want. All right, it's just Mike. Yeah, what's up, brother? How are you?
It's good to be here with our awesome guests and Mr. Isha and yourself. You know, let's rock and roll, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, man, we're gonna get it popping. We got a great show for y'all today because our guest today is a dude that I've known since high school. It's been a while, and ever since then he's been doing his thing, man. He's a little bit of everything in the music business. He's a writer, producer, one of the premier vocalists from the DMV. It's not too much I can say about this dude. You know, he's done a little bit of everything, and I'm so glad to have him here. Welcome the one and only Damiko Starr. What's up, man?
What's up, man? What's up? Glad to be here.
Yeah, welcome, man. So
yes, so y'all know each other since high school?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Damn, Dave.
I remember
high school you was the man, Dave. What the fuck happened to you?
Hey, look, Dave. Things went the other way for me. Damiko still got it, but for me, nah.
It's all right.
But nah, speaking of that, I remember because me and my folks used to think that we were Bone Thugs and Harmony in high school, and so we used to be in the lunchroom rapping Bone Thug songs. And at that time, I don't know if I know you was with a group, Damiko. I don't know if y'all had the deal already, but everybody knew that y'all was the ones. And I know one day I came and listened to us rap. He was like, "Yeah, y'all pretty good, man. Just keep doing what you're doing." We felt so good, and so it was like, yeah, man. But yeah, man. That's Eastern High School. Shout out to the whole Eastern High School, man. That was dope. It was many moons ago.
Yeah, those days.
Right. But yeah, man. So it's a lot I want to talk to you about, man. You've been doing a lot since those days. You got some dope music out right now. We're going to get into it. But it's a couple of things going on in the city, in the country, in the world that we need to talk about. And we're going to talk about some of those things right now. So I wanted to start out today. Mike and I have been talking about the controversy that's been going on with Kwame Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Kwame or Kwame?
It's Kwame.
Kwame Brown. Yeah, I thought I was saying it right. Yeah, so it's been a lot going on, and Mike was pointing out to me how little I know about the whole situation, just because I'm not a big basketball dude. I played football, and I didn't really follow the NBA. Like, I haven't followed the NBA seriously since back in the Jordan days, Clyde Drexler and all them dudes back in the. Had to give y'all some references.
You disrespectful. You disrespectful. Yeah. You don't say Drexler in the same breath as Jordan. That's bullshit.
But that's just around the time that's who was there. It was the David Robinson and the Lil Penny and who else was. Anyway, let's get to what's going on today. We're not taking a walk down memory lane. Let's talk about what's going on today. So, Mike, can you give us a little background about the situation? First of all, for those who don't know who Kwame Brown is and was in the NBA, can you give us a little background?
Kwame Brown is the first individual ever to be drafted out of high school, number one. There's a lot of cats been drafted, but number one. And this gentleman was drafted by the almighty Michael Jordan. And with that came a lot of bullshit. Here we are 20 years later, and they've been putting shit on this man's name for a long time. And ultimately, that's my word, ain't it, Dan?
Yeah.
My word.
I always say
the chickens have come home to roost. The young man has sat back and watched and listened, and things that came on, from Michael Jordan's or the ESPN stuff with what was the last show with Michael Jordan and with the Bulls?
The Last Dance. You talking about the documentary?
I watched it, but I watched it live, so I was never really impressed by that. But anyway, my point is, the gentleman has sat back and let a lot of things be said to him. And a lot of cats have come his way and shitted on him. And now he finally, you know what I'm saying, speaking on it. He's done it to some individuals not so eloquently. To me personally, perfectly. He country, he real,
Country.
honest.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about a kid who's 18 years old, and he speaks. Kwame Brown literally speaks to different things and different elements that they didn't hinder his process, but they hindered the scope and how you look on him. Look at him, a bust, a bust. Well, honestly, I was a Wizards fan until they shit on Michael Jordan. I didn't know the real story, and that's what we're going in towards. The media tends to like really twist the story to us. It fills our heads with so much bullshit. We don't know the truth, the ending, the beginning, the middle, any of it. And also, this man was 18 years old, and Kwame Brown makes points. I didn't see but 25 seconds of high school clips on him. Michael Jordan saw it fit to draft him. He didn't pick Michael Jordan or DC or the Wizards. We picked him.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are now. He's speaking to some things that are important because he's speaking to the element where we cancel one another, or we shit on each other, and we say these things to each other over social media, and there's no recourse, there's no repercussion, and now there is because everybody has a voice like we do now. I did.
Yeah, so like what I was saying about it, and thank you for that background on it. Is basically what you said. Is like when we talked about it earlier, I made reference to the Tupac line. I'm not a killer, but don't push me, and that speaks so many volumes. Just because every man has a limit, and so he's let it go. Because a lot of the people that he talked about, that he clapped back at, that have been talking about him recently, seem to come back and get upset with him. Like, why are you talking about me? Everybody's been talking about you. I just said some stuff, but why are you picking out me? And it's like, you can't decide when the person's gonna, what their person's limit is. And that's like I was telling Mike earlier, that's like if you getting jumped and you pick that one person and whip their ass, and then they get mad at you. It's like, but you were there, so and everybody has a limit. And so they reach that man limit, and now they catching the wrath, and he's been calling people out for a lot of stuff. And it's interesting to see for me. I definitely think that this culture and this the social media age and all that has made it a lot, has added to a lot of the fuel of what's been going on. But I get what some of the people are saying about how, oh well, it's always people that people take shots at and all that stuff, but you can't get mad when somebody come back at you. I don't think that that's a thing. That's why even like Mike, you were telling me like Charlemagne wound up apologizing to him publicly.
What I was speaking to was the chickens coming home to roost, and not just coming home to roost. This young man who is now our age, literally our age, speaks to. He speaks to. He has so much validity in his comments, even when he's disrespecting them because it's needed. But he's valid in his points, and they hold so much merit. I mean, everything from. We talk about Charlemagne, but we talking about let's start it all with All the Smoke, another podcast, awesome podcast with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes and Gilbert Arenas. Ultimately, these guys are trying to work it out and settle it, but they've caused so much of an uproar in the social media because you know what I'm saying. It pulled other people in. Everybody's commenting and chiming on it. What's your point?
Mm-hmm.
You heard about it already?
I've seen his post or whatnot. I've seen people reference what he's been posting, but I haven't seen the totality. So I'd have to watch his YouTube video so I can hear what he's saying.
Damiko?
Nah, haven't watched it yet, but I'm gonna watch it until we get off here.
Put like this. Imagine sitting there being 18 years old and growing up, and somebody who picked you was that somebody, was the anybody and everybody, being Michael Jordan. And he, number wise, he didn't average 25 and 10 rebounds, but he bust his ass for 12 solid years. And to deem him a bust is completely stupid. Moreover, the man made 65 million in his career, and he still got bread. He doing all right for himself. He's all right. He ain't went nowhere. And what's going to happen is it's going to stop people from running their mouth so much. These kids come out of college. He was 18 years old, and come into a grown man element. And here we are shitting on his throat because he averaged 20 and 10.
Right.
It's a game. It's a game.
I look at, hey, he made it. There's a lot of people didn't.
The percentages are amazing. He's
Yeah.
made, what I was speaking today was, he made Charlamagne the God make himself donkey of the day. Now the element is, did he do it for like damage control? But Charlamagne sounds sincere. But I don't think it's no reconciling that, because they come from the same state, county, and I believe city.
Charleston. Yeah.
Yeah. And Charlamagne got phone calls from home, like, bruh, you bringing up shit about this man's father, and his family calls him, and the question is, I'm glad his family did that, because that's what you're supposed to do. You check them, but do you do it for damage control? Do you do it for, for everything? Because Kwame Brown is about 7 foot everything, probably a good solid 280, and you run up on him in real life, that's a whole fuck the podcast.
Right.
Like, you ain't got no security for real. You don't have it. You don't have it. Could y'all imagine? We working, we doing our podcast thing, we working in our real life, and one of us say something crazy, and all of a sudden somebody want to attack us behind some BS. I mean, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna make sure it happens. That's my goal. Fuck them all.
Hey, thanks for holding it down, Mike. I have no idea what just happened.
We know that you went away, Dave. It's okay, Leo season. It's all right.
My whole internet just went.
It's fine. It's all right.
For a second.
It's too hot that goddamn attic. I told you it's hot that goddamn attic.
Anyway, but yeah, man. So we talked a little bit when we were talking about this. I was telling you about something that my girl, who's a kindergarten teacher, a philosophy that she studied when she was studying to get her degree and teaching about people's the translatability, I guess is that a word, anyway, of people's skills from one level to the next. So they talk about this in children going from pre-K to kindergarten, and also from kindergarten to first grade, and they parallel it to athletes going from college to the pros, from high school to college and college to the pros, and how their ability doesn't always translate. And there's big money and big time and big thought put into finding out the factors that can push that process along better, because at this point it's just a crapshoot. There's no way to know who's going to be able to translate those skills, like Kwame Brown, who was a standout player in high school, but once he got to the league, he wasn't able to play at that level. And
how about coming out of Eastern, fellas? You guys came out of Eastern.
Yeah.
You aren't the men that you are now, whether you are platinum award winning, recording artists, and or fathers and mothers and daughters, grown ass man taking care of your damn family, big. Does your lack of stardom negate who you are as a man? Should it? Obviously in social media it will and does, but in my world, I give 2 shits and 2 fucks about that. Hold your own, stay on your square. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Could you imagine coming out of Eastern and walking in and Damiko say, man, y'all some cold shit for real, like y'all, like shut, y'all ain't Bone. We in Northeast DC. Bone will get their ass beaten. Fucking actually, Bone will hold their own in DC. You know that, but they still Northeast, Southeast, Northwest, South. It don't fucking matter. We DC anyway. But I mean, could you imagine being critiqued like that and being torn? Imagine somebody you look up to tearing your heart out every day in the studio. Like, for real, that was your verse. Hey, bro, that was your hook. That's what you're saying this now.
Yeah.
Where the church at? I'm sorry. Where the church at? Where's that?
Yeah, what kind of toll that would take on your ability or your performance on the
day? It's toll on you as a person.
Yeah, what'd you say, Damiko? My bad.
I know. I said, like you said, it'll add up until it's like, yo, I'm about to shut this nigga up.
yeah. Everybody got that limit. I'm not a killer, but don't push me. And so yeah, man. With that being said, move on to the next thing. It's a couple of things going on in the city. Mike and I were also we had a little discussion before this, and we were talking about the COVID situation, how the CDC is lifting a lot of guidelines and restrictions, and so things are getting a lot more loose. And some people are saying it's a little too soon for that, But with the numbers going down, everybody getting vaccines and stuff, and COVID testing, it's going a lot better. So it's looking like things are getting back to quote unquote normal. It's a lot. People are traveling more. People are going out more, doing more things. There's more people out there. And, the holiday weekend is coming up this weekend. It's a 3-day weekend. Isn't it Memorial Day? Am I tripping?
That's a holiday day.
Yeah.
It's another day off on Monday.
You don't get a day off? You don't get my day off?
I don't consider it a holiday.
Well, what is it?
Holiday is when you like celebrate the actual day. I've never had a Memorial Day cake or ribbon in my life.
Hey, Mike, I find it hard to believe that you've never had a Memorial Day cake. I'm just messing with you, but I love you, bro. But no, man,
I mean, Memorial Day is a sad holiday. If anything, we're memorializing all the fucking war we've been in. Like,
Well, I mean, but people use it as a day. They go, go out and party and stuff. So my question was, with everything, opening back up and the restrictions getting more lax, have you guys have any plans for Memorial Day? Isha, you gonna be in these streets Memorial Day, Isha?
Do I have plans? No, I probably will not be in these streets.
You ain't finding nobody's cookout. I find that hard to believe.
I mean, I do my own cookout, but
tell them.
That's a good response to that. That's a good response.
Yeah.
I respect that.
But no.
Yeah. Nothing?
No. No.
How about you, Damiko? You doing anything?
Just something small with the family, man. I still don't trust it.
I hear you.
Right.
Yeah. It'll be another.
Are y'all taking your mask off?
With the family, the little bit party, yeah, but
yeah.
But other than that, no, when I'm out, I keep my Jones on.
Yeah.
I help when I'm Midas over on Capitol Heights. Bring your ass in there without the mask on if you want.
And that's only because, like they say, they dealing in the honor system. I don't trust nobody out there.
Nobody, right? Nobody, right? Barely trust family, right? You be like, hold on, wait.
I know you didn't get no vaccine. What are you talking about?
Right.
That's a good question. Who's vaccinated, and are you? Would you? Do you want to? What's going on? I'll speak first.
Go ahead.
I remember an inoculation in the late 40s and early 50s. Thus, we have AIDS. So, fuck the inoculation. I'm good. You came out way too fast with a vaccination. Like, way too fast. Like, you hit fast forward on the shit. First, we was all going to die from a cold and pneumonia. Now, all of a sudden, we got these shots. You can take them. You could. No, cuz I'm good. And anytime you have to offer an incentive, a financial incentive to get shot, that's some bullshit. That's called a guinea pig. Paid.
The views and opinions expressed here on the show do not represent but yeah, so I'm when it first came out, I was hardcore like, no, I'm never gonna do it. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not, the more time that's passed, and more specifically because at the end of June, I'm supposed to be going to Puerto Rico. So I don't want to have to quarantine for 14 days when I get there, because that'll be the whole trip. So I'm thinking about it, but
I'm sorry, Mary, beautiful hot chick, Puerto Rico quarantine. Sound like a lot of fluids in the matches to me, buddy.
Anyway,
what are you talking about?
Anyway, but yeah, so I'm still up in the air about it though, because there are definite things like Mike said about it that's gives me pause, that makes me think about things.
Have you guys been vaccinated, or how you guys feel about it? What's your take on it?
Ish?
I feel like they.
No. She said, do it again. Say it again, Ish. She said,
no.
No, just no. What'd you say, Damiko?
No, I feel like you trying to wait a little longer to see what happens.
yeah. And then I've been paying attention to stuff that's happening to certain people, like side effects and stuff like that, to see what's really going, because it's no way they could have, typically when they put out pharmaceuticals, all right, Mike, see, typically when they put out pharmaceuticals, they have a testing period that lasts anywhere from 1 to 5 to 7 years. So to put it out in 1 year, and think that it's all right,
15 minutes. That shit was like a fucking pizza from Domino's, served hot and ready.
And yeah,
cuz I'm not. No.
People. So over the long term, there's no way to study the long term effects that quick. So, and I'm not saying that anybody should not get it. I commend all the people that did it for noble reasons. That had their personal reasons for doing what they did. And shout out to everybody, you know, and it's a personal decision. I'm not saying everybody should run out and get it, and I'm not saying people shouldn't get it. I'm saying it's a personal decision that you should make. You know what I'm saying? That's my official point of view of it. Is, you know, it's
Right.
And it's your fault if your face fall off. That's your fault.
No, Lord, if your face fall off. Anyway, man.
It's called Bell's palsy, sir. I'm sorry.
I know some folks that actually have it. Yeah. So, but you heard something about the vaccine causing that?
Okay, so rather than sit here and continue to spread all the misinformation because I'm misinformed, because I get a lot of my information from same venues and places that most of us do.
Look, we talking earlier. He like, man, check out World Star Hip Hop. I'm like, stop getting your news from World Star.
I was talking about for the Kwame Brown comments and videos. They're awesome. They're awesome. The responses and stuff. But to speak to that, you do find yourself feeding into black men, you know, going at it, and that's not fair. That's not good. That's not what we're trying to do right now. So right. I like they're trying to stop and communicate. Hopefully he stopped. He's been hurt. You can tell he was salty. Hopefully the apologies have been made and the reconciliation process can go through and we can just move on. Because honestly, I don't want to see all that. I don't want to see black fighting, black fighting. I want to see some healing and some positivity. But in the meantime, we ain't nothing funny as motherfucker. Understand that? Right. It is what it is.
Look, so it's a couple of more things I want to touch on before we get into this interview. The first thing, one of the guests that we had on a couple of weeks ago, man, Joe Claire.
Shut up, Dave.
Shut up, man. I had a brain fart. Anyway,
you had that vaccine. You had that vaccine, and now you stutter like a motherfucker.
Anyway, so Joe Claire was talking about one of his topics on the show. He was talking about something that we've talked about before when we were all together, about, you know, women proposing to men and how that's becoming more of the norm nowadays. So I noticed that both Aisha and Damiko gave the same kind of like, nah, that's crazy. So I just want to get y'all's opinions on it. So first of all, I told Mike I would ask him, because Mike, I know, is married. You can see the wedding picture there behind him and his wife. So I told him I would ask him on the air, and I didn't want to hear his answer until right now. So Mike, if your loving wife, if Dolores got down on her knee and proposed to you, would you have said yes?
She actually did, Dave. She got on both knees. She said, "Come here, you fat motherfucker." Listen.
Look, hold on, wait. Where's the story going? This is a family show, man.
No.
It's not.
No. It's funny because we conversed about it. And I clowned and played and joked. I would be utterly overwhelmed at the notion that she saw fit to drop a knee and surrender her heart and her spirit, because that's in essence why you drop a knee and propose. It goes back to a whole bunch of cracker shit when we going to do all that. Anyway, ultimately, you know, she did submit in that. She probably would spend maybe a half a millisecond on her knee before I picked her up, threw over my shoulder and said, you know, I ain't got to tell her, she already know. She wouldn't had to ask me, you did. Yeah. I think it's cute. I think, you know, it's part of the times. I know it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, because she ain't have it. If she was in here right now, I can call her right now and she'd be like, fuck ass, no, hell no, I ain't no way. But it wasn't hard for me to propose to her. I would like for the notion that if she would have proposed to me, it wasn't as hard, but you know, it's not tradition.
Right, yeah. So Aisha, I noticed you gave somewhat of an eye roll there. Would you ever propose to a gentleman, Aisha?
So this is a good segue to the gala that I went to this weekend, because at the gala, Miguel proposed to his now fiance, and it was a very, you know, like loving and grandiose experience.
When you say Miguel, you mean the singer Miguel?
No, Miguel Wilson, the gentleman who has the boutique at the.
What'd you say, Mike?
Not the dude who kung fu kicking chicken in the face across the stage and shit. Not him.
Oh no, not Miguel.
No.
Anyway,
Miguel Wilson. Yeah. So he proposed to his now fiance, and it was, you know, like I said, it was a beautiful experience. The whole gala was a great experience. Check out his store when you guys get a chance. But anyway, his no, hell no. Why? No. Golly, no. No.
So you would. That's 13 no's. That's how serious.
Yeah. No. I definitely would not, because I just feel like it is so emasculating. You know what I mean? Like, you know how I feel about that, David, as far as men choosing women and women accepting men. So you know I'm a big
this is a classic argument, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it is a classic
A
argument.
discussion. I mean, not argument.
Yeah.
Now, Dosey, know your partner.
Yeah, Dosey do. Shut up.
Who you talking
Yeah,
about?
We go ahead.
I'm just saying. No, like that whole energy. So male, female, yin yang. Like we all have our roles, and in that feminine energy and masculine energy, I really can't see no man for real being okay with the woman that he loves proposing to him. I just can't. Like, I'm not going to take that man's opportunity to select me as his wife and say, "Will you marry me, husband?" No.
Okay. My question now is, which is what I posed to my wife, because she says similar to the same thing. Yes. 5 years from now, wouldn't you re-propose to me? If I'm a good dude, 5 years long, and I make it tingle the same way it tingled the first night, damn it.
No.
Selfish son of a.
That's not selfish. It's all about respecting our role.
I took out your equation of emasculating me.
Right. Yeah, I took that. Yeah. Even
Damiko, what you think, bro? You quiet, bro. What you think, bro?
I think I got to side with her on this one.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, everything else, I think it can be, here or there, but that one, I think that's the one should be reserved for because one, you dating this woman, she's in love with you, you're in love with her, and a lot of women, when they give it their man, they actually waiting for that day. To me, if she do it, that kind of makes you feel like, hey, nigga, you waited too long. So she had to step up and do it.
Good point. Very good point.
You're not getting the hints, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
Right.
Is this ring?
Thus emasculating the shit out of him. I got you.
But it's too sad. I mean, I guess a lot of women when they do it, they have their reasons. I don't know nobody personally, women personally who did it. So I only can speak on that one end.
Right. Yeah, I heard somebody say something like, and then like after she proposed to him, then she pick him up and carry him into the house and all that. It's like, bad. That's a little far. But yeah, I agree. Like I feel like it's something that I mean, it's one of those things that like so much nowadays is evolving into something different, but some things evolve for the better, and then some things, they change, and you like, why did they change that? It's the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type thing. But for some women, like Damiko said, it's reasons. So for some women, it's broke. They not getting what they want out of the situation. So they taking it upon themselves.
Whoa. That's not what he said, and that's not fair to women who propose.
Well, not saying that. No, I'm saying
women who propose do one of either they totally cut the man balls off right there, or they're so overwhelmed and overjoyed, in the words of Stevie Wonder. If you ever heard the song. If you ever listen to the words of Ash,
literally overjoyed is like my wedding song, literally.
Whatever. I don't hear that. I don't hear anyway. The words to Stevie Wonder's Ash and overjoyed. These songs speak to a spirit that has connected with something that shall travel through the Milky Way together, in my spirit, in my heart. And so, if that woman is overwhelmed and feels that way, I ain't going to negate her. I'm not going to. What's the opposite of emasculate? Effeminate? I
don't think there is a word for that, because no man has ever done.
Femininize. That's a good word. Femininize.
It's not a good word. It's not a good word.
Femininize. Whatever. Just like if you cut off her
femininity. I don't know. But
if you, the same way you would suggest that taking his away, if you suggest that she couldn't wait no more, that was her reason. No, that's not a good marriage. Yeah. That's a horrible situation.
People do it though. It's not a good reason, but people do it.
The female version of emasculate is defeminize. There you go.
Oh, you found it.
Good. So we're beyond. We have a. Look, she for her little computer and shit.
Yeah.
I could have done my phone right here. I could have done that. I just feel stupid.
Yeah, but what were you about to say, Damiko?
I was saying, well, like you were saying, I guess it depends on her, her personal motive behind why she did it. Some of them might do it because they actually love this dude, and maybe she's not even thinking about he about to propose to me. She just love him that much that she want to go ahead and do it. So I think it just depends on. That's one of those to each his own.
Right.
You write songs, bro?
Yeah.
So I mean, in being someone who personally I write I used to write poetry, and I love poetry, and I love the words more than I actually love the beat. My wife is opposite. Cut the words off and just give it a beat. She Panamanian and Caribbean, they say she want to roll. I want to hear what the fuck you got to say, because you ain't saying shit. I don't hear motherfuckers saying.
Hey, I'm the same way.
So it's substance. We go back to substance. Isha, what you Googling and shit? What you over there Googling?
Anyway, man. Before we get into this interview, I just wanted to shout out a couple of people real quick. First of all, we lost a huge part of the comedy scene. Comedian, writer, producer, director Paul Mooney passed away this past week. Yeah, a huge part of comedy history. He's written for everything from the Richard Pryor Show to In Living Color to
the Jeffersons.
Right. Yeah, Red Fox. His list of credits is crazy, and his stand up was hilarious, man. They've been playing a lot of clips of his stuff since he passed or whatever, and I saw one where he was talking about Magic Johnson. And he was talking about you saw it, Mike. You heard it. He was like ever since he was what did he say? Oh, let me do my Paul Mooney real quick. Hold on. He's like, and then you got this nigga Magic Johnson. Ever since this nigga got diagnosed, he's had money. He's got a movie theater. He's got malls. He's got what kind of AIDS does he have? Financial AIDS? I want that shit. I want it. And I was like, that was crazy. But yeah, shout out to him. Rest in peace, Paul Mooney, man. He's a hilarious dude, man. A comedy legend. Like you said, his resume is insanely long. He's written for everybody. And just
when it comes to comedy, when you can tell a joke like that and not be canceled.
Like I feel like this is the last time the show's gonna be on because I repeated it. But
no, because it's about context. And if you don't have enough wherewithal to get the context, especially in a song, a conversation, then go fuck yourself, because it's all about context. You said it is what it is. Context. To me.
So when you drop all the F-bombs, it's all about context, man. I appreciate you. But
I only dropped one. The one is single and not plural. Asshole.
Anyway, let's get into this interview, man. Thank you so much for joining us today, for putting up with our craziness, Damiko, man.
No problem.
It's always good to see you, brother.
You too,
you've been doing a lot, man, for a while now. I want to talk a little bit about when you started out, you were in a group, and so just kind of understanding that transition from a group to being a solo artist. How was that transition for you? Because it's always kind of weird, when you start out. But how was it for you?
It was kind of smooth, only because like the most thing I guess I missed about the group, other than like just having fun and having with my brothers, it was that background, that live background aspect. All the harmonies and everything, and just being in a group, you can have a bad day, because like if I was like, oh, I can't do this part today, bam, LB hit that jump, Marco hit this jump. But when you solo, hey, you gotta tough it out, do what you gotta do.
Be on,
Or you're gonna lip sync, and I don't prefer that. That irritates me then, But I think getting used to being by myself was like the biggest thing. Almost like almost like that little part of the Michael Jackson American Dream, when he looked to the side and Jermaine wasn't there.
Right. Yeah.
It almost felt like something like that.
Okay.
But I think the biggest thing I had is like the total opposite of that. I don't have that. Don't want to say crutch, but I don't have that support no more. So now I have to bring everything up to a different level since I'm by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do my own harmonies, I gotta make sure everything right. When I'm doing my vocals, I gotta make sure everything. When I'm writing, I can't. Man, I still can pass the writing along now, but it was just a growing process. Right. At first it was a little doubt. I was like, man, do I really want to be solo? But I don't know. After I got in the lab and started investing in myself, like I should have been doing anyway, it became easy. Right.
Yeah. So that's another thing I wanted to ask you about that whole process. When did you start to, like, originally, when did you realize that you actually had a talent for singing and that you could, that you like, oh, I got something here. I can really make this something.
Honestly, I was about 4. So I got 4 brothers.
Right.
Everybody do something with music, either singing or instruments or both. Mm-hmm. My older brother, who's right on top of me, he sings all the time. So I was so used to getting everybody talking about how good he sung, that got a little jealous. And I was like, shit, I can do that. I can sing better than him. And to this day, me and him still go back and forth. He probably watching now. If not, he gonna tell me send in the what you call it. Right. But yeah, I was about 5 years old and singing a little Michael Jackson stuff. And then once I got like 13 and met a couple of dudes in the neighborhood that can sing, so everybody else outside playing with they riding their bikes and all this, we sitting in the laundry room harmonizing because the acoustics in there real good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it came natural, and been singing ever since.
That's dope. Do you remember the first time you performed in front of a crowd? Was it with that group?
Yeah, it was at some kind of little cookout over in Kenilworth. We sing a high five.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, we sing a high five.
Come along,
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's the one. That's what we sing.
That's the only high five song I remember in Kissing Game.
That's it.
They had a couple songs.
Time they had like
that's a good song. That's a good song.
Yeah. So musically, like, who inspired you? Like, who did you listen to? When you started out, and even now, that really man, that really pushes you to be like, man, I need to be like, or not be like them, but you want to work to that level.
Back then, I mean, it changed not changed, but I guess I looked at different artists as I got older. Yeah. But a high five, Tony Thompson for his vocals, Michael Jackson at first. When I got my teenage years, it was more like Babyface, R. Kelly, because they was just writing hits like back to back hits.
Oh, you can't say R. Kelly no more. So no, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
He ain't piss on nobody, Dave. Leave him alone.
I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
The old R. Kelly.
Right.
12 play R. Kelly.
Right.
He was hitting on people too. That's all right. Yeah. It's a real pissy situation.
Go ahead, man. Anyway. All right, just ignore Mike. Go ahead, man. So you said
try and ignore Mike if you want.
Anyway.
So yeah, them two, and also it became a little thing in the studio. We was working with the group that they become a Kelly Babyface, because I was always writing, or I was always if we get somebody to play the piano, to play a song for us, to redo a song, I would always hear something that's like, yo, he not playing that right. And they, what you mean? He not playing it like that, don't sound like the song. If we're gonna get some to remake the song, we want it to sound like the song. So that's how I told myself how to play piano. I go started playing the song and recording it. And everything just kept going from there.
I want to ask you guys both, in the piano, the chord, it's 12, 13 different, what is it, notes or something? What is it?
12.
Yeah.
Whatever that 12 is, that's a special number, right?
Octaves, yeah.
In that, is it how so does the hit song come from when you get lost in it and don't care anymore, or is it when you stick to what the 12 is? Because, and I say that because I was telling you earlier, behind you I seen your screen, and they were telling me it's a set of 4 or whatever. I was like, what about 3? Well, 2.7. They was like, no, shut up, it's not it. You're wrong.
I'm talking about the time. He's 4 times.
But Dave know what you're talking about, and I don't. I won't be outside the box on the break.
So let me take that question and structure it a little more for you. Your process of writing music. So like when you write in music, does it come from does the inspiration come from the music itself? So you start playing and like, oh, I got something, or is it the words? So I know that's not 100% what Mike was asking, but we'll get
that's good though. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, I know what he's talking about. He put like the time signature. One for me, I don't really create off the time signature at first. I do my beats and everything, and then figure out what the time signature is afterwards.
Me too.
But my process of writing goes both ways. Either sometimes I do a beat, and like if something hits me, then I'll just record everything. Like, you know, some people write it down. I don't do that. I hook the microphone up, and I'm gonna record my whole chorus, harmony notes, and everything. So by the time I go back to, you know, revamp everything, I got the basic right there. I got all my backgrounds already ready because I try to write my chorus first all the time, and all I got to do is work on my leads. You know, then other times, you know, I might get a something might hit me, or somebody might say something, a phrase or something, and then I'm like, I think I can work with that, and then I just go off of that and just, you know, a basic piano melody. And once I find the melody, then start to write off that and build the track later. So I mean, it depends on the vibe.
And is there any set like process? So let's like take like the song "Bitter," like one of your, you know, your biggest joints. It's a dope song too. So like from start to finish, like from inception, like from when you first came up with it to having the completed song and everything, like how long did that process take?
For Bitter, I think Bitter was one of my faster songs because for some reason it was just, everything was just clicking. I had did a track already. And sometimes I put so much into the track that I have to change the way I think before I start writing, because I'll just be blank because I exhausted trying to get the track the way I want it. But after I started listening to it, and I just that melody came to me, on in the bitter, and then it just went from there, and I just started writing, and then it's just like I took a story of a relationship that I was in, a relationship my brother was in, and it just say, okay, and everything just started fitting, and it just, you know, just piece it together. And but that one didn't take that long.
So do you typically steal stories from your family to put in? No, I'm just messing.
I would say I don't steal them. I just steal their stories.
No, I'm just messing with you.
He sharing is caring.
No, I mean, my inspiration, it can come from anything.
Right.
A lot of times somebody can tell you a story, and to me, I don't think of it as a song till later on. I might hear a beat or something, and then something pop in my head, and I'm like, yo, I was just talking to somebody about that. That could be a song, you know, something like that.
Right.
And so it just depends on the situation, because I try to pull inspiration from everything.
Yeah. So I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but I want to go back to you talking about the instruments and stuff. How many instruments do you play?
Fluently, one, keyboard. I'm teaching myself how to play the bass guitar and the lead guitar.
Oh, okay.
You know? Okay. Yeah. So I just need to practice a little more. I guess the good thing is I do have an ear for music, and I play the piano. They always say the piano and the guitar is like the most similar, what you call it, music instrument.
Yeah.
So those are my next two. I don't know which one I want to practice more first though, but yeah.
I'm always fascinated by people who can play things like horns or even the guitar is because like the piano to me, like Mike was saying, it's those 12 hours, it's all laid out. Everything you need is right there. But when you have to actually like find a note on a horn or like you know, that's too much for me. I'll say I'll never be able to, you know, I don't even want to try it. But
but it's the same thing with the piano, because you got them same notes just going octave.
Yeah.
And in theory, you like, that's just the same notes just going all the way down the line. But everybody go to it and stop, you know.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
I appreciate, coming from DC, it's a terminology they use in music called the pocket. And I also appreciate when I love jazz. I don't know what it is about the different sounds that when they hit you, it's like they do something to your spirit, to your brain, you know, and set you on a pace in a direction where you go up, you're positive, you're not down, and I enjoy that, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, because I was looking at this music course, and basically the dude was, like you said, the dude was breaking down different chords give you different feelings. Like one chord might give you a sad feeling when they play it. Another chord might give you a happy feeling when you play it. Yeah. You know, and so it just, like when I do songs, I try to kind of stick to that when I listen to it. Like, what's my first thought when I play it? You know, okay, this sound might give me a sexy vibe. I know I want to write this. Okay, this sounds like real meaningful, maybe sad, telling a story, is it, brokenhearted or, and I try to, before I start writing, I try to feel for that because like he was saying, I'm from, all the 90s music when they had the good stories, telling the stories, and that's how I like to write. So I guess that's a big part of my, even though the younger R&B cats really don't be saying nothing.
Right.
That's
actually a good segue into the next question. So I want to first talk about music as a whole right now. Like, well, let's say R&B as a whole right now. And I guess soul music. They don't really use that terminology anymore. But how do you feel about like the music that's coming out now, like the stuff you hear on the radio that's labeled like R&B? Is there anything that you see that really stands out? Is it all like, how do you feel?
I don't really see none of the newer cats, and when I say newer, I mean like maybe after Chris Brown, because he's one of those, Chris is he's the nowadays Michael Jackson, regardless of what everybody say. But you still got the Usher, who still writes, which call it the Tanks, the Joes, it still kind of keep it real R&B. But I think, me personally, is the thing that bothers me is all the rappers who want to sing. Because back when we was coming, if you rap or you sung, or maybe you did a little bit of both, which call it, but all the rappers trying to sing.
Yeah. It was
kind of Dave. He lied to you, Dave.
Huh?
Then he lied. He said he came in that little room and said, "Y'all doing good. Y'all trying to be like Bone, right? Y'all motherfuckers singing and rapping. Shut the fuck up."
Anyway,
man, come on, man.
Nah, man, I know what he's saying.
Man.
So, but no, I get what he's saying.
My nigga.
Anyway, but I get what he's saying though, because it was like you said, it was rapping. It was a few people.
I hate all that shit.
Can really do it.
All Drake do is talk.
Drake got bars though. Like he's got bars.
You lucky it's a lady right here. It's a lady right here, Dave.
Anyway, listen. Mike, hold on, listen. But yeah, it's
you need to drop. I can drop, Mike, so you can tell.
No, you good. Like, but no, I get what he's saying though, because it's people that do it really. It's people like CeeLo. It's people like it's a couple of artists who can really sing and can really rap. But then there's cats that don't need to be on, one side or the other.
Coming from us, most cats who could rap really probably could sing it. They got to do their hook, and ultimately they weren't allowed to. But Ja Rule, guess what? DMX, they can sing. Okay.
So Tupac used to sing.
Say it again.
Well, but certain people have some soulfulness to their voice that carry them along
all day.
Yeah. But,
I think what's happening is we run into a situation where a lot of it's run its course. It's become redundant. The words are redundant. It's over and over and over. How much? If I see another video with all these fake asses, can I see a real ass one time?
But hold on, let me ask. So, do you feel like that's just because we reaching the age now where the music doesn't?
It's our fault. Fault.
Yeah, that's what because when we were younger, like older people used to be like, "Y'all music don't say." What are they talking about? They hippity hoppity, hippity bopping.
I'm driving this Sunday. I'm driving with my girls, 3 girls, 14, 13, and 9. And I hear this pussy and wet pussy shit come on, right? I switch, and the first thing come on is face down, ass up. That's the way we like. I was like, let that shit rock. It is what it is.
So, wait a minute.
I can't
sounds like a double standard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
If you're gonna hit a real, that's the real. Face down, ass up. That's the way we. You know what I'm trying to say to you.
Anyway,
me and my son, he's 16, and we got every time we in the car, he always ride. And he'd be like, Dad, he'd play some of the new artists. He'd be like, what you think about this, Dad? And I tell him, I'm honest, like, nah, that shit whack. That shit's trash. Go to the next song. What you think about this? And his favorite rapper is J. Cole. So I know he got an ear for rapping.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's his thing. He always send me the new rappers. Dad, what you think about this? I'm like, all right, that's okay. Maybe it's his verse is too crowded because, even when I find one of the younger rappers in the music is hot, they ad-libs kind of overpower because all them now they got it
or they can't ride the beat or whatever the case may be.
And that's the other one that I can't stand that the offbeat rappers.
Oh, that's what that is. It's offbeat rapping. It was called getting your ass beat in the motherfucking in a cipher back when I come from.
But look though, so I kind of went through the same because you know I was telling you my girl's daughter is she's 17 now, but you know when she was younger, like we both just silly, so we connected off of stuff like that. But as she got older and started, you know, the music was the thing. She was really excited about playing these artists for me. So she'd do, Damiko, what you said your son would do. Like we'd be riding somewhere together and she'd put on the song and I see her kind of looking at me to see if I'm rocking to it. And it's like Lil Uzi Vert or somebody. And she asked me, and I hate the, but I was like, no, it's not.
Wait till your daughter tell you that Trippie Redd is cute.
Oh, Trippie Redd.
What are you looking
at? I think the challenge is that there is a lot of good R&B, like a lot of good R&B. You know, David, that I'm like, you know how sincere I am about sourcing my music, but they don't play it on the radio. That's the challenge. Like a lot of good R&B doesn't get airplay, so people don't know it exists. Like you have to literally hunt for these artists. Which is annoying.
A lot of the most R&B that the good R&B that they play happens to be female these days. You know,
I won't dispute that.
Yeah, but the male, like the male good R&B, basically you're gonna hear Chris Brown, you're gonna hear Tank, you're gonna hear Usher.
And that's not even good R&B. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not even good R&B.
You don't think Jeremiah is the king of R&B?
You got jokes there.
So I look both of their faces did the same thing.
When we say good R&B, our ladies, who is this Janae Aiko?
Janae Aiko.
I like her. She dope.
I like looking at her. She's sexy as a motherfucker. She can sing, but I don't like when she say pussy and my daughters are singing it. I don't like when she sings.
That's something different. That's an emotional connection. You don't want.
I miss a woman. I miss a woman who can sing. She was singing about her pussy, but she never said pussy.
But so you don't think Millie Jackson ever said anything about her chocha? You don't think so? No.
It's awesome, but when she said it, it wasn't just soaking wet.
Like,
it wasn't a wet ass pussy.
What you about to say, Damiko?
No, I would say a lot of it just the changing times. Almost like with the male R&B singers. You know, R. Kelly would allude to certain things. Boyz II Men would allude to certain things. Jodeci would allude to certain things. But now it's just like there's no censorship, so everybody just say what they want. Like I can say pussy. Shit.
Right. Hey, each one was it Deion Cole? Did you see when he was like, you know, back in the day they used to love and caress you and all that, and nowadays it's like I give you this dirt, you know. So that's the R&B now. So
well, look, I put that solely on the backs of Jodeci. Like Jodeci was definitely out the box. You know, whatever. And then R. Kelly just rode the wave. He's like, sure, I'm with that too. I'm with that insane.
No. R. Kelly's urine was the wave.
Anyway, go ahead.
I was watching this podcast, and I forgot who was. Somebody in the industry was saying, he said a lot of stuff changed because the A&R dudes kind of got lazy. You know, I used days.
That's true. They did. They're very. They are. They are
lazy. Artists before they come out, but it's like now, just so. I mean, I guess with the help of social media, they had to. I don't know why, but it's like anything can go. They don't care as long as it's selling. You can be the worst artist in the world, but if you got that fan base behind you, hey, let's go.
Yeah, you know, because it's more about money than the actual art. So you lose soul. You lose the soul music. That's why you don't hear that term no more, because the music doesn't have that soul.
I can't speak for Patrice. She's not here, but I gather she might put forward out there into the universe. It's a lot of design, y'all. It's a lot of design.
It definitely is.
It's a lot of design to program us, to numb us from the reality. And I'm not lying to you. Sometimes I put the news on. I'm like, is this a replay of a movie I've seen already? Is this? I mean, what the? This is a Twilight. I'm like, really? You know what? Should I just brace for impact? What's next? Because it's like, you keep cutting the news on and you're hearing so much, but you go home and you take care of what you got left. What's here, your family.
We go off on a tangent, but back to what we was specifically talking about. Thanks, Mike, for that. I appreciate you taking us in a whole different direction. But
I'm not always cussing, man. Fuck that shit.
Anyway, but yeah, so is it the artist that you listen to? Like who now do you really listen to? Like who's in your playlist right now that you like bump in the car that you listen to, you know, on a regular basis?
Shit, regular basis. I don't know this to somebody on a regular basis, but it's like, nah, man, I still like the old. Well, I said he ain't older, but you know the older, like the Tanks, the Joes, and I think I like they created that, you know, the creative style more than anything. And because like to me, if I can hear a song and like, hey, I should have wrote that.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's how I know I can connect to the person.
Yeah.
You know, I hear listen to them and listen to the lyrics and like that shit don't make no sense. Like how that fly? You know, you know that tends to, you know, to get the little deaf ear a little bit. You know, but I try to keep my ears open to all the new artists, you know, but it just depends on the vibe I get, you know, because like you said, the radio is gonna play what they want you to hear or what the industry done paid for.
Right.
I'm about to say what you paid for.
Yeah.
A lot of that shit's been reviewed. You know, I didn't realize how much money backs up whether or not I hear a song.
Yeah,
you know how many times a song's come on? That is some stupid shit.
You know,
I heard it like 70,000 times a day.
Right.
You know what?
Look, I saw one of them documentaries where they was talking about how
it's the radio budget, not payola. Remember that.
Yeah, it's the radio budget. It's still payola though. Because look, that's what I was about to say. I saw the budget.
Okay.
I saw one of those documentaries where they was talking about how.
I'm lost. Fill me in. I'm lost.
What payola?
Oh, about payola?
I'm ignorant to this.
Yeah, that's basically paying to get a song played. That's what I was about to say.
I've heard that.
I saw a documentary.
It's illegal.
Yeah, it's supposed to be illegal because it gives the artist an unfair leg.
Marketing budget is not.
Right. There you go.
Right. Yeah.
Well, what?
Your marketing budget.
The marketing budget.
Yeah. So they just call it something different to get around it.
It's called an investment, damn it.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I was saying I saw a documentary where they was talking about how Puffy wouldn't just pay to get his music played. He would pay the radio stations not to pay to play his competitors' music. So like Death Row, so like, you know, Cash Money, all of that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I think that, sometimes I wish that he. No, that was wrong. I'm gonna let that go. I was gonna go way.
All right. Well,
put it like this. I come from a generation where, you know, I was on Tupac's side, and I learned as a fat nigga. I should have loved Biggie more, but I didn't.
Okay.
Until I grew in maturity.
Maturity, right?
But I always have hated Puffy. I still hate Puffy. When he organizes a basketball game or whatever, and people go trample at the door, that's not necessarily his fault. But people have died, and there's a wake of death and bullshit, you know, along his path, and I don't respect none of it. I'm not like I watch that stupid shit. I'm not going across no damn bridge for no cheesecake. You got me fucked up, bro. I'd have beat the whole. I'd have changed the whole damn show.
Making of the band was hilarious.
I'd have changed the whole. I wasn't a rapper no more. I was a felon. Understand that? Fuck about where I'm from. I ain't gonna see where I'm from. You guess. What my hat say? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm waiting for that bullshit. Got me fucked up.
All right. Thank you for that again.
No, Mike. That was a tangent, Dave. That was a tangent.
That was a tangent. Yes, thank you for that. But so musically, like the whole package, like producing, writing, and recording the song, like you basically do it all. So how did you start producing? Like, what was the catalyst to make you start producing your own music?
Man, funny story. Well, not funny story, but so it's this cat. He live around my way. I don't know if you know him, Rashid Hammond. He
oh yeah.
You know Rashid?
Yeah, the boxer, right?
Yeah, boxer Rashid. Yeah, up to Rashid. Yeah. So Rashid had this group called the Minnesota Dope Boys, rap group. And they was looking for beats and everything. So he literally gave me a laptop with Logic on it and a MIDI keyboard and said, yo, take this, learn this so you can make beats with us. And the blessing was I took it and had it for like 3 months before he asked me for it back. But in that 3 months time, like when I say every day, I was doing beats every day. Every day I learned that jump. And I didn't even get a chance to make beats for them.
But you got the knowledge.
Yep, I got the knowledge. Well,
you know, Go ahead, man.
No, say so. I got big ups to him for that because ever since then I just been producing myself.
That's
I was
crazy.
like we were talking about earlier, it's like how hard it is to find good production in this area because everybody, we still got that stigma that everybody kind of still for themselves in this area. It's getting a little better, but yeah, when he gave me that, I was like, it was on. So every day I was in the grind, every day, 12, 13 hours a day, learning it. So by the time I gave it back, I was like, oh, I just gotta get my computer, give me some logic, and I'm on and been doing it ever since.
That's dope, man. I was gonna say, man, it's crazy how our stories parallel in certain ways. I learned, when I was rapping, I learned production from somebody, 88 Keys, my man Greg Mance. And I took and look. So in New York, when we were going back and forth to New York after he left from working with Lance London, that whole thing. When he went up to New York, right? He had a whole situation in Jersey, and I would go stay with him when I would go up there. And so one time the little studio room he had it set up. I had brought my laptop with me, and this was back when FL Studio came in the boxes, and it was like a couple of CDs. And one day I was just sitting there and just loaded it on my laptop. And he seen me. I thought he was gonna be, but you know how he is. He was like, "Oh yeah, make sure you get all the plugins and everything, because that's the type of dude."
Yeah, man, the Fruity Loops, man, Fruity Loops.
And he got me on it now because that's the only one I use now. But yeah, and it's the same thing. I came home and just every day, just messing with it, learning. Okay, this how you do this how you do that, and then I started messing with like the YouTube tutorials. And so from all that, just learn the process and everything. And yeah, man, it's a dope process. But like we said earlier, the motivation was a little different. Mine was just because I got tired of everybody saying, wanting me to pay all the money for the beat. Like, I need $1,500 for this beat, and I'm like, dog, I work at Safeway. At the time, I'm like, I could, and then I even had one dude that wanted to charge me like $12,000 for a beat, and I was because he had produced for some like Young Jock or somebody had made like a B-side for him or something, but he had the name to do it. And I'm like, well, I don't really have it. And he's like, no, it's cool. Cause you can just sign this paperwork and I'll put you on this payment plan. So every week, like $100 will come. I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. I ain't getting enough,
Paying for a beat? Nah.
Yeah. Nah, I was like, I'm straight. But yeah,
you never told me that, Dave. That's some crazy shit, man.
Yeah, I've had some.
You told us that, Dave.
I mean, you was gonna give me the money, nigga?
We'd have went and tightened his ass right on up.
Anyway,
yo, speaking of keys, I just did a track. I just did a song to a beat Key sent me. He finally sent me because he in Atlanta doing this thing.
Yeah.
So I've been reaching out to him for a minute. He finally sent me a beat, and I just did the song. Like last month, I did a song for him. So I'm actually waiting for him to send back to send the actual stem so I can get it mixed and everything.
Right. Cool. Yeah, man, it's good to know because the dude like. One of the most talented producers I've ever seen. Like, like I was trying to, when we was working with him, I was trying to help him get like his catalog together and stuff. Cause back then he had like the spindle of CDs. He ain't had names on them or nothing. He had to flip through. So I'm trying to catalog all the stuff for him and all that. But he had beats that I sat and watched him make that has been on stuff that artists have stolen that he sent to me. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that dude is hilarious. But yeah, shout out to him wherever he's at, man. Like you said, he's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I still follow him on Instagram. I haven't talked to him in a while, but yeah, I know he's still doing this thing. Yeah, I still talk to Semantics too.
Semantics,
yeah, like one of the best lyricists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, ever. But yeah, man. So, but we talking about Damiko Starr right now. So, speaking of that, man, you released the single, the last joint that you did a couple of months ago. It was a pretty heartfelt single. A track dedicated to your daughter. Yeah. So that's the last joint you released, I know. But first of all, how's that doing? I know it's out there everywhere, right?
Yeah. Honestly, man, when I released that, I just released it to to express what was going on.
Right.
So I ain't even checked on it. Honestly, I just put it out there.
Right. Yeah. It's an amazing song, man. It's beautiful. Can you talk a little bit about the healing process and situations like that, and how music has helped you? Because I know you've been through some stuff like we were saying before we got on over the last maybe 2 years or so.
3 years, yeah, been kind of rough. Like,
So,
in
but the
short,
music kind of,
I would say in short, I guess in my family alone, we done lost maybe 13 people in the last 3 years.
Wow, yeah,
Something like that. Yeah, and most of them been back to back.
yeah,
And for those who don't know, my daughter was killed on January 3rd of this year.
yeah,
Struck by a stray bullet. So that's where the
yeah.
song came from.
Right.
To me, I don't even know if my healing process has started yet.
Oh wow.
Because it's one of those things that I guess when some people pass, you be so close to them that even when they're gone, they don't feel like they're gone yet.
Right. Yeah.
Like my dad passed 2 years ago, and to me, it just feel like he gonna pop up any day and be like, "Hey, how y'all doing? I've been on vacation or something." So
right, yeah,
even though I know my daughter's gone, like she's still with me in everything I do. So I think never say I don't even know if I started it yet or when I'm gonna start it, but when it do, I mean, sometimes when it hits me, I just let it happen.
Yeah.
So if it's something that I could tell anybody that's going through that kind of situation or something similar, it's like, one, it's okay to cry. You're human. Two is when it hits you, let it hit you. When my dad passed, I was always stopping. Like I started to cry a little bit, but I try to, hold it in.
Yeah.
But like now when I look back, I was like, I don't even know why I was trying to hold it in. Just let it out.
Yeah.
So like with my daughter, so we had this almost like with my son. She always let me hit all the new music, or she'd come and vibe with me in the studio. So I think that keeps me in touch with her, And I don't know, I just taking it one day at a time, putting everything in the music, doing what she said, her little saying, live life before life live you. And I just try to live everything to my best ability, So that's why I went ahead and got my personal training certification, because that's something been wanting to do forever. But it was one of, you got, everybody have goals, but sometimes you just I ain't gonna
Trust me, I know, bro. Trust me.
Yeah, but so what's going on? Maybe 11 weeks ago, I signed up for the class. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it this time. So now it's like I'm do everything for her. So did that, got my certification for that. So trying to start up that that other business outside of the music business. So I think my grief is gonna, my healing is gonna come from being able to help other people in whatever facet. If it's somebody who wants to sing, they want to write, I help them write. If it's somebody who want to get in shape, to better themselves, their body, whatever they, their fitness goals is, to me, helping somebody kind of helps me heal at the same time.
That's dope.
So that's how I'm choosing to deal with my grief, because everybody, to me, I think this is my personal opinion, that it's a choice how you deal with it. I could easily be like, my daughter was killed, I'm gonna lay in a bed and just let life go past being depressed. But I try to stay away from that depression, and all that, and just try to, take it one day at a time. I'm gonna have my good days, I'm gonna have my bad days, but most important is, like, if I do feel myself in that little slump, try to get out of it. Go work out, play some music, listen to a song, look at her picture. I try to just keep myself motivated.
Right. Yeah. That's an amazing, like, this attitude to have about the whole situation. Just that first of all, what you said about grief being a choice, like how you deal with anything, of course, is, what I'm saying, ultimately it's up to you. I stole your word, Mike. Ultimately it's up to you. I always say, grief is really relative. Like mourning is a real relative process. Like it's personal to everybody. Everybody has their own way that they do it. And I always say, like, the key to it is making sure, and it comes back perfectly to your daughter saying, is to live it and not let it live you. And so the idea of it is, there's a reason for that process. The way our bodies and our minds are set up to deal with grief is to go through that process of sorrow, of doubt, of denial, and then ultimately acceptance, so that we can move on. And so letting that, it's so important to let that process run its course, and finding positive ways to get that energy out, like you've been doing, like with the music and personal training, just dedicating things to betterment is definitely the best or one of the best ways to go about it. Because like you say, it's people that do it the other way that might just give up, or like you said, stay in the bed or whatever the case may be, and that's not first what that person would want for you. That's not what you want for yourself. So yeah, man, that's dope that you're able to do that. You brought up the personal training, so I want to ask you real quick about that. How long you think it'd take me to get cut up like The Rock? Like what I need to do? But I'm just joking, man. Like, he was about to tell, look, I can put you on a regimen, get you some pills. But nah, man. So you said you wanted to do it.
If I got, oh my God, if I got cut up like The Rock, you understand? I'm wearing
she had to keep you in the house.
I'm wearing like see-through thongs every day.
Lord,
every day, like spandex.
I don't want that
spandex overalls and shit. No, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. I'm a firm believer in adversity introducing us to our true selves.
Mm-hmm.
You keep pushing. I hate when these things happen for a reason. I don't fuck these reasons. But if you find a way to let it catapult you into something where your spirit is allowed to help others.
Yeah.
Because there lies my healing. If I can give you this little something, this little gem, why? Because I done been through that. That gem is a hardened stone, be it a ruby, or emerald, or a diamond, is there. And it's hard for a reason because I've been through a lot of fucking pressure. A lot of pressure. You keep pushing, bro.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Keep pushing. Write you a song. Write us a song. Write you a song for you and her. And one day share it with us or don't. But just keep pushing, man.
Yeah. Well, the single that he has out is, about her, right?
Yeah. Oh, you must. I got another single that's out that came out on the 7th.
Oh, okay. You do? See,
sing a little bit. Sing a little bit. We never had nobody sing, so.
He's pressed to get somebody.
Never had nobody sing on the show. I'm putting you in the spot.
Nah,
I don't think you put Damiko on the spot though. Y'all don't understand. This dude is one of them dudes, man. Like, yeah, he's like Aisha know when we was at the the Artemis joint, and he just broke it down for us real quick in the corner.
Somebody listening to him. Let me hear it, bro. Let's hear it.
You want me to sing it or I can play it?
Do what you want to do. What's comfortable for you, man. It's your world.
All right, hold up 1 second.
Isha, in the meantime, you sing, baby. Look, I just called to say. I'm just fucking with you.
It's tearing up one of Stevie Fitz. Tear it up.
Right. And don't do that because we on Facebook and they will cut us off if we say some copyrighted stuff.
Really? Hey, look, you know how I feel. You know how I feel, bro. Like, why you going? Oh, God.
But yeah, man, yeah, like I said, man, that whole process. Yeah, definitely. That whole process is something that I've been, thinking about for a long time, just since, my dad passed in 2012, and but it's interesting, Damiko, that you said you always feel like he's with you. Like I was just talking to my mom about the dreams that I have frequently, and he's always there. You know what I'm saying? Like he's always there talking to me different stuff. Like it's just interesting stuff, man. So yeah, hold on to those memories, to those feelings. Like Mike said, just keep pushing. Yeah, I was just saying all that to give you a chance to get everything ready. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So I can show you that baby you're so beautiful. You don't have to worry, I adore you. Just want you to see your word. I know that nigga let you down before, but you ain't gotta worry about the shit no more. Promise I'll do all I can to show you that you're mine. Go hard for your love, plus running over time. I know sometimes it feels like you're not worth it. Not worth it. Even when those times in life feel so dark, yeah, shine like the sky. I can see you shine, girl, but you ain't gotta be there way around me. I I promise I'll do anything to make you see. I can see you shine, girl. The man ain't never treated you like a queen. I can see you shine, girl. But now you're with me. So say that I'm a baller and I'm a boss, yeah. And I'ma help you get it right so you can boss up anything you need, yeah. You know I got ya. I just wanna help you recognize and know you're fool. I know that nigga let you down before. You ain't got to worry about.
How much you want to
Dope, man. That's dope, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, that's dope, man.
That drum was written by me, my co-writer, Pelham Taylor, the writer. He lived by me, and my nephew rapping on the end of the drum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's let me get is he gonna be listening tonight?
Huh?
Is he gonna be listening tonight or watching the show?
Probably so.
Make sure his verse get on there, man.
Okay.
So 15 minutes left, man. You know,
Nah, you good, go ahead.
So stop all that playing, we getting money, can care less about what the outside is saying. You got a nigga with a plan, baby, let's run all these bands. You say you nervous when I'm swerving, I got drunk like a band. You hot headed, but you cool and you gon' blow like a fan. Baby, I ain't what I am, and that is the man. You got a nigga who gon' step and not gon' flex for the brand. But just remember when you really shorty, you can't be blamed. You can't be blamed.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
But you ain't gotta be the way
He said his name Marilyn Mook.
Baltimore Mook.
Baltimore Mook. Look, I messed it up already. That's a bit. Shout out to Baltimore Mook, man. So yeah, that's dope, man. What's the name of that Shy Girl?
Yeah.
How long? You say you just dropped it last week?
On May 7th.
Okay, yeah, man, that's dope, man. Congratulations. Yeah, that's good music. So yeah, man, like the where was the inspiration for that come from? The Shy Girl.
That one, me and my co-writer, Pelham, I don't know, it was one of our vibe sessions. We was like, yo, we just gonna come over. This is some tracks I already did, and go for it. And I was like, you know, I got an idea for this, like the Shy Girl. So I had the Shy Girl part, and he, you know, he wrote the jumps in the middle, and after we had the hook, like, okay, hey, we on to something. Then, you know, we started writing the verse. He wrote the first verse. I wrote the pre-hook, and everything just came together. And I was like, I'm gonna get my nephew to lay the verse on that jump.
Yeah,
so it just so happened, matter of fact, because I finished it around my daughter's funeral, because all my family was in here. So everybody, you know, our grieving process like we do. Everybody, all the brothers came in the studio. We was in here playing music. They playing the guitar. And I pulled my nephew aside. I said, yo, could you write some of this? And he was like, yeah, I got you. And so after everybody left, he came in here and did his thing.
That's dope, man. Yeah, it came out smooth.
Pretty sure they help you heal a little bit, right? The family.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's what they're there for.
Yeah, you mentioned your musical family. Like, so who's the best musician in the family?
The best musician in the family?
Yeah.
I hate to admit it, but I'm gonna have to say D. You know my younger brother D, Demetrius.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Melissa Hudson. I'm gonna have to say him, even though I hate to admit it.
Is he a drummer? What does he play?
Man, yeah, that man was sing. He played drums. He played bass.
Yeah, because I've seen him. I think I saw one of her performances and he was playing the drums for her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drums is his first instrument, but he played bass too.
Okay, cool. And you say he's the best. That's your little brother too, right?
Yeah.
How you let him beat you, man? How you let...
Because I was doing the music and singing, so he can sing, but he don't really like to sing. So he better do his stuff on the instruments.
I can't imagine how good it would feel to hear my older brother tell me that, you know what I mean? That's a good thing. That's what
dope.
Brothers do, you know what I mean? Dave, you got an older brother, Dave? I love me some Ivan, man.
I think he's around here somewhere. But but yeah, he don't sing though, but he can fix the car. But
whoa. You got Ivan messed up. Ivan can sing.
Well, no, he can't sing.
Ivan can sing.
Yeah, he can sing.
If you take a 1975 Dolomite song, and Ivan.
Anyway, so you mentioned Melissa, your sister-in-law. You did you just recently did a track with her too, right?
Yep, actually, Baltimore Mook is on her song too. He leads her song. It's a song called Better, written by me and my co-writer Pelham Taylor. Baltimore Mook is on there, and Melissa singing the lead.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Making it a family affair, man. That's dope, man. Yeah. So yeah, her musically, like I think she's dope. Like we had her on, she did some gospel for us. Like she sang some gospel for us. This was a while ago when we were at the harbor.
I said,
you said what, Mike?
I was. It's funny you talking about gospel, right? You know how y'all were talking about how certain music is played to make you feel a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
So your cousin, I went to school with her on her orientation up Cobbin State. I got bored because I was bored. I am who I am. I sat in this big ass amphitheater, and I sat down, and it was a theology class, and they were teaching shout beats and shit. And I'm like, these motherfuckers, this bullshit. Like they were teaching like what to play when you come in and bring the offering plate. And what to play when you want somebody to cry, and what to play when somebody's. And so I found myself in North Carolina about 18 years old, praying for a shout beat because that's where everything started to jiggle. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, Lord,
oh Lord,
I love you, Jesus.
So this is why we try to stay on task because Michael take it. So you say you just put the track out on the 7th. So is this going to be part of an album?
Eventually, I think I think what I'm gonna do this time is I'm gonna put maybe 4 singles out first, and then just have those 4 singles actually on the EP and add some other songs to it.
Hey, I got something for you. For real, I got a track, man. I want you to at least listen to it and tell me, how you feel about it.
Send it over, man.
Yeah, I got some work for you because I know you you work with your own stuff, but I got something that I think will fit your voice for real.
Hey, I'm always up to a good track. I don't care who did it.
Yeah. So we'll talk though, because I said some other stuff I want to talk to you about too though. But so you said that. So you have anything else coming out anytime soon?
Yeah, actually, me and the co-writer Pelham Taylor, we've been grinding. We got 3 songs off his movie soundtrack called We Go Deep coming out. We did. One is already out for this movie soundtrack called the Little Voice.
Okay.
And that's out now, like on Amazon Prime and all that.
Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah, definitely. So when I was talking to you about my boy doing the movie, you already been in that space already. I knew I was coming to the right person.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, man. It's like I don't know, any avenue to get in, hey. That's what I do. It's always more than one street to where you're trying to go.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, definitely. So, man, that's dope, man. I'm so happy for all of your success, man. Because you like I said, you always been one of them dudes. Like your voice is amazing, and like your musical skill. Just listening to when I listen to The Bitter. So this is what happens a lot because people know that I'm have been in and around the music industry for a while. Everybody and their mama come to me with music, like, man, listen to this and tell me what you think. And so it's a tough, right? And I know it's a tough process because everybody's stuff is not, how can I say it nicely? Mike, how would you say it nicely?
Good.
Everybody's stuff is not good. Okay, there you go. Yeah, but so it's weird when people come to you, especially when it's somebody that you're cool with, that you know for a while, and they play something and it's not good. But yeah, I listened to but I already knew like your standard of work, but Bitter is dope. Like the because I've heard stuff of yours before, but even the growth in that and the ability, the Bittersweet album, it's some really, really dope like music on there. Like
thanks,
you got
bro.
stuff that should be, definitely, man. I'm sorry, man. My co-producer.
Your brother said, "Shut the hell up and hurry up."
Anyway,
he should smack you. I haven't smack the bejesus out of him.
That's enough, man. Anyway, but yeah, man. Anyway, but yeah, like I was saying. So yeah, your stuff is good, man. Basically, bottom line, you got a quality of work that's always been there, and I appreciate it, man. I hope everybody get to see it. Where can people find your work? If they looking for the singles, if they looking for the Bittersweet album, where can they find it?
Album, singles, Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Amazon Music, everywhere digital music is sold under Damiko Starr. Damiko, Damiko Starr.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Where did Damiko Starr come from? Because I know you by your government from Easton.
Well, Damiko, that's been like my nickname for like forever. But,
okay.
Once I left the group, I was like, just saying Damiko to me ain't so I wanted something to add on to it.
Right.
Like almost, like a stage last name.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. One day I was just chilling and I was just going through different like Damiko this, Damiko that, Damiko this, Damiko that. And then I said Damiko Starr. And then I was like, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Been that ever since.
You said Damiko been your nickname forever. Can we ask who gave you that nickname? Where you got it from?
Oh, that nickname.
See, yeah, that's why I was like, can we ask? If it's a personal story, I don't want
Yeah, it's a personal story. But...
Yeah, I'll leave it. Yeah, you can leave it there. That's cool. It's a cool name, though. Damiko Starr. Yeah, but
let's get personal with you, Dave. How about when we get him back?
Yeah.
All right. So look, hey Dave, we was talking about like relationships, and marriage and everything, right?
Oh Lord. Anyway,
you was going to quarantine in Puerto Rico and shit. What I said to you in Puerto Rico, I said to you.
Like I said, Mike, the weed is hitting Mike right now. So, but we come into the end of the interview. But it's two questions.
He's so uncomfortable right now. He's so uncomfortable.
No, I'm good. It's two questions that we always ask everybody.
It's two
I'll probably ask you these when you were on before, but I'm gonna ask you again.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is if you had a chance to talk to a younger version of yourself, if you could get in the time machine and go back and talk to 12-year-old Damiko Starr before he was Damiko Starr, if you could have a conversation with him, just everything you've been through, everything you've learned, and all the wisdom you've gained, what would that conversation be like? What kind of things did you say to him?
I think, hell, I can say that in one word. Don't be afraid to take chances.
Yeah.
Because I think if the group would have took more chances, and when I mean chances, I mean like, some artists are gung-ho, they'd be like, I'm about to move to a state that's popping with music, and I'm gonna sleep outside in a garbage bag till somebody hit me. Yeah, I think back then we was thinking too logical. Like, man, I ain't sleeping outside, But yeah, I would just say take more chances, good chances,
right?
Calculated chances,
right?
And invest more in yourself,
right?
Because if I'd have had all this back then with the group, yeah, we'd have been good. Right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's never too late, but yeah, that'd be one of my advice is like, yeah. And the other thing is like, don't believe everything somebody say just because they say it. Because when you're young and you're an impressionable artist, you kind of run with somebody saying, yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, I ain't gonna say the names, but
Yeah, no, I know.
you know certain people.
Yeah.
Sir.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I just like, be aware of that, and at the end of the day, I'll just tell them like, a lot of people want to get into this industry for the love of music initially, but this industry is a beast, yo. Just like drugs on the street, to be honest, because you're just a product. But a lot of people kind of forget that when they get in, like a lot of stuff, it isn't personal, it's business. Sometimes it's shady business, but it's business at the end of the day, and you just gotta have tough skin. Because like you said, it's gonna be somebody, like we were talking about earlier, it's gonna be somebody you're gonna pull your heart out on the track and they be like, yo, that's some shit.
Right, yeah. And you crush your whole emotion, your whole dream.
Like y'all rocking, you think you're doing a thing, and then that nigga like, yo, nah, that ain't where it's at. Nah,
cut that off. I don't want to hear that.
Start over.
Right.
Yeah. But so that'd be my thing. Make sure you have tough skin, take calculated chances and invest in yourself.
Yeah. Your answer brought up a whole bunch of other questions that I was thinking about. Just I'm gonna just add one more to it because we don't have that long to go before I ask the last question. What's the best advice you ever got in the music industry?
Oh shit, probably invest in yourself, because and it's a different thing when you like when you start investing in yourself. It kind of makes you have to work. Like, you know, I went in, like you said, if you would have bought that $12,000 track,
right,
yeah, that would have made you write to that track, but you had to write 10 times or 20 times. I'm gonna get my money out this track.
Right, exactly.
Thing with the studios, like I done bought all this stuff, you know, I gotta do it. I gotta work.
Right.
You know, so and investing in yourself, it could be buying your stuff. It could be taking a music class so you can learn, you know, how to do more music, or buy the business of book, the music. Just like, you know, I know a lot of artists get shafted, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy this book and just read that. You know, so investing in yourself, it comes in many different forms. But you know, when you start doing it, you'll find yourself like, I need to do this, I need to do that. And like with me, when I invested in the studio, then it translated into, now I got music, now I need to copyright this music. From copyrighting this music, now I need to learn about ASCAP. From ASCAP, I need to learn about royalties, you know, and it just kept going, and you learn it more and more, you know. So yeah, invest in yourself, the education of music, and just invest in yourself, believing in yourself, and you're gonna hear. I guess one of the biggest things is you have to swallow is everybody ain't gonna like your music.
Right. It's not. It's not for everybody.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't understand that. It's like, that's why you have different genres of music, because everybody don't like everything. So if somebody don't like it, okay, cool. It's not for you. It's for this person over here.
Right.
You know, and even now, I mean, I still go through that sometimes, because I be like, okay, bam, this song might fit in this lane. So if I shop it to 93, 95 might get it. 95 might want it, 93 might not, because they have a lot of the rappers and all this on there.
Right.
But I got to be cool with that. Okay, I'm cool. Bam, it's still the door open over here.
Right.
And that's the part I think it takes a little bit of time and wisdom to actually swallow that, because you know, when you're young and you just think you're on fire, you know, you don't want to hear that.
Right.
Oh, man, forget them.
Yeah. You make a diss track about them and all that stuff.
Yeah, but you don't want to burn that bridge. That's
exactly.
Oh, and that'd be the last thing. Don't burn no bridges, because you never know who you're gonna need help from.
Right, exactly.
And sometimes your help is gonna come from where you least expect it. Most of the time, your help come from where you least expect it.
That's true. Yeah. That person be like a A&R or something, you know, somebody that can get you to that next level.
Yeah.
So my last question, you know, you performed a lot. You've been in a lot of situations, from performing to you know, working on building this personal training thing. You've been in a position a lot of times where a lot of people are looking at Damiko Starr. A lot of eyes are on you. When people see Damiko Starr, what is it that you hope that they see?
A hard-working Black man. They're gonna see that anyway. But basically me. I mean, because I'm not one of those. I'm not gonna pretend to be somebody I'm not. You know, I want you to see the authenticity in me, whether it's in my music or it's in my training. Whatever I do, that's what I exude. You know,
right.
I try to pass that on, because you know, you never know who's watching you. Like you say, you never know who's watching you. You never know who's being inspired by you. Somebody could be like, damn, he doing music and what you call it. You know, I can do it too. You know, or, you know, he went through a tragedy. He had, you know, he had lost, and he keeps going. That just gave me, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So like one of the old sayings, the eyes are always watching. That's like true. You never know who's watching you, you know? So yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, man. Well, I definitely see, you know, all that in you, brother. You know, like I said, your voice is amazing. You got really good music. You're talented dude, and so I really appreciate you taking the time out to come and talk to us this evening. Like I said, I'll reach out to you because I got some work for you, stuff I need to do. But so you told them where they can find the music. Before we go, let everybody know where they can reach out to you for shows, for, you know, for bookings, for features, for studio, for tracks, anything. Where can they reach you?
I made it easy. Everything is Damiko Starr.
Yeah.
You know, the IG is Damiko Starr, Facebook Damiko Starr, Twitter Damiko Starr, email damikostarr.com at Gmail. Yes, get at me. Tracks, need songs written, you need songs arranged. hey, if you want me to just listen to your stuff and see where I can make it better, hey, I'm down for that too.
That's the bet, man. Yeah. So on behalf of myself, Super Dave, aka Mr. Incredible, the one and only Just Mike, and I think we lost our feminine energy. But she might be having the same issues that I had.
Some of the energy we all come from it.
Talking about the individual, the person, Mike. But anyway, on behalf of us here at the Neighborish Livecast and our illustrious guest, the one and only Damiko Starr, thank y'all for checking out another episode. We'll be back next week with more entertainment, more information, more guests, and more fun. Y'all have a great week. Take care of yourselves and each other. And yeah, like Mike say, keep pushing. Peace.
Peace.